Thank you, Chris. Are you recording, Gavin?
Everything's good.
All right, thank you, Gavin. I appreciate it. Guys, if y'all ain't met Carol Storm, if you're new, the lady's been in traditional business for a long time. She's been in network marketing for a long time too. And I've had the pleasure of really getting to know this lady and how smart, intelligent she is in and outside of network marketing. And, you know, I've been in network marketing for about 3 years now, and I've learned a lot from Carol. So we talk every day. And last night we were talking and I was like, wow, Carol, could you share that on the Zoom tomorrow? And she goes, absolutely. So with that being said, I'm going to pass the call over to Carol.
Thanks so much, Ricky. Back at you. And we talked about a lot of the new people too who are on this call. And I just want to welcome everybody into this team. You guys have joined the most dynamic team that this company has. We're super proud of it. And we are all in the right place at the right time. Ricky and I were talking last night, and Ricky, you can certainly intervene and let me know what you want me to really highlight. But I know we were talking about, you know, the startup situation and where we are in a startup. And I've been in startups before. I've had my own company. I've like lived through the pain of a startup and the joys of a startup. So I think we're all attracted to this because, you know, there are huge opportunities when you're in an organization that's starting up. And that's often where, you know, you're at the beginning in the organization, so you get to know the CEO and you get to know, you know, our new president, Larry Cantrell, and you get to intimate with a lot of people because you're there at the beginning. So that is super worth it as you're moving on because you have those relationships and everybody is like first name basis. Whereas when we're 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 people in our organization, maybe it's a little bit harder to break through. So that is like one of the best things that's going on right now. We've had a lot of people, like my phone's been blowing up about the Canadian distribution situation, and it's been tough. And a lot of people have been really, really, you know, frustrated, and they're just going crazy over this thing. And their go-to place is just to blame and blame. And I keep saying, you know what, guys, this is our company. We are the company. So when you're looking to blame, instead of looking at this as we have a distribution situation, I'm just choosing distribution right now. Maybe it's like a product launch is delayed or whatever it happens to be, but choose whatever situation it is. It's your situation. Because if we were to all have our own businesses right now, and we do, we're entrepreneurs. We just happen to be representing a line of products that Ellepreneur is putting out for us. How lucky are we? Because they're doing everything else for us. So this is not an us versus them. It's a we situation. We are the company. And when you get your head around that and you start to go, oh, okay, cool, then you're not in there complaining as a promoter because my product doesn't come, because this is late, or you know, my bonus isn't right. My bonus isn't right, maybe. That's an opportunity to say, well, hey, I have to connect with someone and I got to get to Sean because there's a little glitch here and the financial part of my business is not right. The products aren't coming to my customers. Oh, I have a distribution issue. Have to understand that. And now I have to solve for X. Because every single one of these leaders in this business is solving for X. You know, I got a pack of shareables, and all of my shareables right now are out into my organization because I solve for X. My shareables didn't go to one new customer. They went to the market because I have somebody on my team who's getting a gathering of 15 people on Friday and he didn't have any product. Boom, the next day he had product in his hand. He had my shareables. So we're consistently solving for X as leaders. But please know, this is our company. This isn't an us versus them. This is an us. And when you have that philosophy, that's the philosophy the pros take. And here's another thing too that Ricky and I were talking about. Within this industry, the pros take 2 minutes to get over something. You don't take 2 days. You're constantly solving for X. You're constantly saying, okay, here's the situation. What are we going to do to make that better? And that's just life in a startup. But for all of the great benefits that we will have, they far outweigh any of those challenges. And the other news too, as many of you have heard me say this too, when you're down, go up; when you're up, go down. When you're feeling great, go down. Just share that with your downline. Hey, Matt, it's just like the best place to be. When you're frustrated, you totally go up. You don't post anything. You put nothing out there that's negative whatsoever. You pick up the phone and you call somebody in your upline who you trust and love and know who's going to have your back, to do it with, with just a safe zone. So, Ricky, I don't know if we talked about a lot of stuff last night too. And because there were a few situations going on where there was some negativity, and we were just talking about, the just kind of the philosophy and where this all sits. And, if you start your business day with a philosophy, with the attitude of gratitude, and we talk about a lot of that in this organization, and set your goals and your intention for the day, it's going to be pretty hard to push you off course, and it's going to be super hard to let any negativity come in. But we're not robots, and we are human, and everybody's got stuff going on in their lives. So recognize that and go into your upline and have a conversation with them if you're frustrated. Ricky, was there something else you wanted me to talk about?
No, that's it, Carol. And we're doing everything as fast as humanly possible that we can to, open up these other countries and stuff like Canada, like Australia. Guys, that takes a lot of paperwork, a lot of willing and dealing with these countries. So, whenever we got into this, as we were bringing into our promoters, I think the best way to go about it, even if you're talking to somebody outside of Canada and Australia, New Zealand, the UK, because those are the countries we're working with right now. And somebody today said, hey, are we open in Italy? No, absolutely not. But if you find the right person that is willing to go through the, basically headaches, right? Because the country's not open, okay? So you just have to find the right leader to really start taking this product to the market and doing whatever it takes to, open up that country, because he's going to reap the rewards at the end, But nothing in life is easy. We all have to put in the work, okay? I mean, if you're out there not sharing this product, you're not going to get any customers. If you're not talking to people, you're not going to get any customers. You're not going to get any promoters. And don't focus on getting promoters anyways. I would focus on getting a lot of customers, because a happy customer, which we don't have a lot of happy customers right now because of the product, but a happy customer is going to become the best promoter, because he's already experienced the product. He might have lost weight. He may be feeling better from inside, whatever it may be, right? So focus on sharing this product, getting a lot of customers out there to the marketplace. And I promise you guys, everything's going to pass. I mean, after going through this webinar last night, I was mind blown. I was like, you got Larry Thompson. This guy is the goddess in network marketing. And for you guys that didn't make the Happy Next extension, this guy was talking about how he had to drive from city to city. Back then, they didn't even have phones. They didn't have pagers, and he was able to build a massive team. And we're sitting over here, how can I say this so it don't come out the wrong way? We're sitting over here complaining because we're not getting the product on time, because we're back order. Well, guys, remember the analogy that Chris uses all the time, and I use it all the time. Imagine your wife being pregnant, and all of a sudden you have quadruplets or octuplets. What happens? You have to adjust. And then you're going to have to bring the mother-in-law. You're going to have to bring the aunt. I mean, that's a lot of kids, right? But guys, I promise you, we are at the right place at the right time. And for our leadership up top, Robert O'Blon, Larry Thompson, now we're bringing, what's that guy's name? Carol, from New Skin.
Oh,
Keith.
Yeah,
Keith.
thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, this guy right here, if you haven't looked up his resume, guys, go look at it. I mean, go Google his name. I mean, we're so blessed to have these type of guys wanting to come out of retirement to come over here. Why would they want to come over here out of retirement? This guy's a multi millionaire. He don't have to do this, but he sees the vision. He knows that the industry's broken, and Robert O'Blon, with his vision and the right people, are going to change this whole industry. That's why we're all here. That's why Carol's here. That's why Mike's here. That's why Ian's here. That's why all of you guys, I mean, on the call, that's why you're here, because of bad experiences. You guys, whenever me and Chris first started talking about this 6 months ago, we were like, how can we love on people? How can we make people feel important? Whether they go out there and bring in 10 promoters or 10 customers or one customer, guys, we don't have to have egos. Just love on people, care for your people, get to know your people. Whenever you're doing a call with somebody, get to know that person, because you got the 80 percenters, you have the 15 percenters, and then you have the 5 percenters. And really, don't go out there and tell people what to do. Nobody likes to be told what to do. Ask, do you mind? Do you mind if I coach you a little bit, right? And me and Chris, you know, we talk to each other every day. I talk to Mike. I talk to Carol. I talk to all the leaders pretty much every day. And I don't mind none of the leaders coming to me and saying, hey, Rick, this is wrong. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm a human being. I'm going to mess up, guys. I'm a rookie at this industry too. I've been in it 3 years. The only difference is that I've been a network marketer for 20 years. And I just didn't know, because I was building those relationships 20 years ago. Okay. So people already trusted me. Whenever I said something, I was very integral, and people trust me. So whenever I say, hey man, this is the best product I've ever taken in my life, they go, well, Ricky wouldn't just say that. So they trust you, right? So I've been networking for 20 years. I just got in the industry 3 years ago, and I wish 20 years ago, I was 19 years old. I wish I would have found this industry at the age of Gavin. I mean, you know, but I didn't. You know, I had to go through the stuff that I went through in life to be able to be here today. You know, I was talking to Carol last night, and I'll share it with you guys because I'm transparent. I was like, man, Carol, it gets challenging sometimes, you know? I mean, because everybody's coming up to you and, you know, griping at you. And little do you guys know that I promise you that behind the scenes, and you can ask Chris, you can get off mute right now. And you're a witness to this, because I put you on these three-way calls. What do I do behind scenes for this whole team, Chris? He must be way bored now. Chris, you out there?
I can answer it, Ricky. You are like, you never stop. You're like the ever-ready bunny for this team, and you go to bat for us constantly. Yeah, you were constantly taking the issues to the corporate office, and you're totally always there for support for all of us. And you know, that's why I brought on 3 new promoters this week. See, I don't ever stop. I know that there are some people here, and there may be some people on this call who have said, well, I'm going to wait until the issues are all settled. I'm going to wait until the shipping's all done. I'm like, oh, you know what? Pros don't wait. The pros in this industry, they don't wait. They keep go. They manage their team. They manage their business. They keep growing their business. They keep moving things forward. And, you know, the people who have come on to this business, and I Mike may be on the call. Mike Z, are you on this call right now? Anyway, Mike was, he was getting on the call earlier, brand new person just enrolled today. After the call last night, he was planning to enroll on the 18th. He's like, I got to get into this company now. This company is the most exceptional. And he's had 18 years of experience in the industry. And after the call last night, he's never had that level of honesty or from founders and excitement from some of the people who are in this company right now. So it was just super, super cool to get that call this morning from him to say, I'm in, I'm down, I have to be in today. I can't wait another, 5 days or whatever. And that's what we have in our hands, you guys. I've done business for a lot of years, as Ricky was saying, and I've never seen this kind of passion and drive and transparency from a corporate machine that we have with our organization. So, we are in the right place at the right time. Let's just all rally around, use the support, use us for three-way calls, use your upline for three-way calls. Don't be the message, just connect somebody so that you can get somebody else's passion and a different voice. Back over to you, Ricky.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carol, for hopping in with all that knowledge and stuff. But hey, guys, so we were on the Fab 90 call today. Just to give you guys a quick update, Robert O'Blon, if you haven't been to the corporate office, I would suggest doing so. So it becomes a reality to you then, right? The whole upstairs, he said it was 2,500 square feet. It's actually 3,500 square feet. That's all going to be our customer service center upstairs. So that they'll have probably about 20 reps working for customer service. We will be getting new phone lines, I think, by the end of next week. So that's phenomenal. We are catching up on all the shipping issues. We're at the tail end of it. So that's pretty exciting. I know somebody that placed an order 3 days ago. They got the product today. So that was super exciting. I know there's still missing orders out there, etc. We're working on those. Also, the people that had the e-passes, just so you know, there's a form that we're going to put out in the Team Rise page or the Platinums and above. Let's do it on the Team Rise page. There's a form. If you had an e-pass, you need to fill that out, okay? It's a Google form, and Robert O'Blon is going to refund the money back to us, okay? People that purchase tickets for SOS trainings this weekend or next weekend, he's also going to refund that money, okay, guys? It may take a couple of weeks, but all that money is going to come back to us. What we're going to start doing is Super Saturdays. We're going to do an opportunity meeting on a Friday night, and then on Saturday, we're going to do Super Saturday. So it's pretty exciting because now the leaders are going to start traveling, to different states and stuff like that. I love it. It's not going to cost probably nothing. Robert O'Blon wants it to really not cost anything. And I was the one telling them, well, Robert, honestly, you ought to put a little price tag on it to pay for the room, right? So maybe he'll do $20 for entrepreneurs. All visitors that are looking at the opportunity would be free. So that's pretty exciting. So stay tuned because here in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start hitting the road and then, coming to you guys. So with that being said, let me see who I have out here. Let's see. Jennifer Marsh.
Hi, Ricky.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Are you open to sharing the conversation that we were talking about today? Because I think everybody needs to hear this in some kind of way, if you can. If you can't, it's okay. I understand. But no, it's because it's the truth, right? Like it gets a little challenging sometimes. Yeah, you got to walk away a little bit. I understand. But no, so people know that, we're human. And we were talking today, and really, whenever you called me, I was like, girl, I'm going through the same thing. It's rough because this business really, whenever you have a team, it's like you care for your people. And if you care for your people, you're always there for your people. And we all have families, that need our attention too. So if you don't mind just sharing a little bit, I know you're probably at home and the hubby came in already, but sorry for putting you on the spot.
His TV is loud. He can't hear me.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to share that because I think there's a lot of value to that, Jen. Thank you for sharing that with me today, too. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You can hear me? Okay. So, yeah, I was talking to Ricky today. I don't even know how this came up. I told him at the end of our conversation, I said, just pretend it didn't happen. And if I threw up on you, just pretend it didn't happen and go back to what you were doing. Because I told him, as when you have a family and you're working, support your team and to support your family. One thing that we know here is this is the kind of income that when you're done working, you could hang up your hat for 30 days if you wanted. And I know that I would get a substantial paycheck if I had to stop for 30 days. And I know that if my husband didn't go to work for 30 days, he probably wouldn't get paid, or they would pay him because they love him, not because they had to pay him. And so for me, I have to work when the business needs me to work. And right now I feel like that's every free moment I have. And if I take time away, I take time away, but I'm pretty dedicated in that way because I know this isn't forever. This is just where I need to dedicate. And I called Melissa the other day, who is my sponsor, because I went to my parents to get ready for my son's wedding and I forgot my charger. And I went over 24 hours without a phone. And I was it was almost 36 hours and it was awful. And I got home and I told her, I said, I was so exhausted and I purposely came home because I knew I had a Zoom that night at a certain time with a partner way down within my team. And I didn't. So I drove home the 2 hours and I got on there. And when I was done, I sent a message to Melissa and I said, or actually I called her and I said, would it be really bad if I just stayed disconnected? Because 9 o'clock at night is not the time to start answering what I've missed for over 36 hours. I just knew I would never get off all night. And so she's like, no, it's okay to take a break, but I can't even disconnect for 24 hours if I'm not answering things for people because I feel so indebted to have to do that. But I don't do it at the compromisation of, I hired an assistant. So I have my daughter here all the time, our oldest daughter. And I did that because I didn't want to compromise my family and my business. I don't care about cleaning toilets. I don't care about cleaning my kitchen. There's stuff I just don't care about. That's not going to make me any money. And it's really not going to make me a better person. So I have somebody hired to do that stuff so that I can pay attention to my kids. And I said last night I was on phone calls. I got on the webinar like all of you. I cooked supper while I was doing that. I did dishes and took an order and met somebody at my door with product. On the way out the door, I was taking my kids to a movie late last night at dark outside. So like most of you, your night doesn't stop. And I got a message from my husband that said, thanks for spending time with me, ! Making me feel a little bit guilty. Now, he's typically pretty good and supportive, but he was having a moment where it's not like we're going to sit on the couch and stare at each other all night and just, look into each other's eyes because what else are we going to do? No, the reality is I was probably going to be in here working and he would be watching TV. But the difference was he was putting the way he was feeling on me, just like our partners do. Sometimes they put their feelings the way that they're feeling on you for you to have to absorb that. And I just told Ricky, I'm not owning that. I didn't do anything. I did not spend time with him that we had committed to. I committed to building a business to completely change our financial future. Just like he commits to going to work every day because they need him during the day because that's when the work is required of him. And for me, the work is required of me mostly in the evening when it's busy. And that's the time that my team, that's the time we have phone calls like now. That's the time where lots of action happens. And so I'm going to be where the business needs me when it needs me, the same as he will be. I just know mine's going to pay a hell of a lot more than his will ever pay. I just already know that. So I can't succumb to the fact that he says, tried to make me feel guilty about not spending time with him. And it doesn't mean that I don't love him. It doesn't mean that I don't care. It just means I know more than he does. I know a lot more than he does. And I started because I knew more than he did. And I continue because I know more than he did. And just like our partners, sometimes some of our partners aren't willing to invest their own time into learning more about what they're actually doing. They're not willing to invest their effort into getting on phone calls and webinars, and they're not willing to invest in themselves enough to get the information. And my husband's the same way. He doesn't have all the information. He's not working from the same knowledge base as I am, but he also doesn't seem to have a huge interest in that. So when he says things, it's a lack of education that is making him say that, or his own insecurities that are making him say that. But I told Ricky today, nope, I'm not owning that. Nope, I'm not taking ownership of that whatsoever. So I sent him a message at work today and I said, we will not discuss this. I just want you to know that if you say something like that to me, that's not going to warrant my attention, and it's not going to make anything encouraging happen. If I stopped going to work today, I would still get paid 30 days from now, and I would make a substantial income doing nothing. You, on the other hand, would stop going to work. You would not get paid unless they felt compelled to pay you because they like you that much. There's a difference in what I'm doing. You have provided for us for 24 years, and I'm so eternally grateful. But what I'm doing is so that you can wake up one day and say, I don't want to go anymore. And you don't have to, right? You don't have to. So he knows that I am very determined and I'm going to do it regardless. But unfortunately, for all of us involved, we have a spouse at home or we have partners in our life that are going to make us feel like we have to own their crap, their insecurities, their way of feeling about something. And typically it's because they don't know what we know, right? They don't feel as good about what we feel as good about, or they're lacking something themselves that they want us to own. And we can't own that. We just got to own what we know and keep moving. So that's a nutshell, I think, of what Ricky and I talked about today. It can be hard being married and having a family and doing all this stuff. But my husband is extremely supportive until he has a moment of feeling sorry for himself. And I'm not going to own those moments. I can't, because I have too many other moments I have to own of my own for that to matter. So I just want you to know that if you're working hard and you have supportive spouses, my husband is incredible. He picks up the pieces where he knows I'm on Zooms or I'm on welcome calls or something. He's really great at that. But there are moments in his weakness that he wants me to feel sorry for him. Can't do that. But I don't do that for my partners either. They want me to feel sorry for the fact that their order is late. Crap, I got the same shipping stuff. I got the same issues. I've got all the same stuff. And one thing I never tell my partners, and they will tell you, I never say I'm sorry to them. I don't, because I'm not reaching out for someone to say I'm sorry to me. I'm not. I'm getting on phone calls. I'm getting the information. I'm doing what I can to solve problems as quickly as possible. And if they're not doing that, I'm the last person that's going to say sorry to them, because there's nothing I'm sorry about.
Man, I'm so glad you covered that, Jen. It's just like Carol was saying, solving for X. I mean, if you know there's an issue, find a way around it. Be honest with people. Say, hey, it may take 14 days. Hey, I just got a couple of customers today. They go, when would I expect my order? Oh, it's taking 10 to 14 days right now with that product that's on high demand, knowing that some people got their orders within 3 days. Why am I doing that? That way, whenever they get their order in 3 days, they're ecstatic. They're super excited. And I'm going to be like, oh, man, that's awesome. I guess they're, catching up,
right.
But put that out there, because if you don't, and you're like, yeah, it's Amazon Prime over here, and their product don't get there in 3 days, guess what? You're going to catch hell from your customer, and you should, because you're
Hey,
not
Ricky,
being honest.
can I say two things before you let me go? Yeah. One of them is, first of all, I just want to remind people, my husband is so supportive, but his little insecurities that pop in, like last night, make him appear as though he's not, but actually he's extremely supportive. In those moments, I'm not supporting that behavior, but he is extremely supportive. I made twice as much as he did last month, so I'm just going to say he's supportive. And number two, when you get product, because we all have chats, right? Like we have team chats and all kinds of different chats. I have quickly learned that the most exciting thing to do when you get a product and you just ordered it 4 days ago is to tell the world. But do your best to not tell the world. Tell your upline. Reach out to your best friend and tell them. But when you put that in a chat, it causes so much disruption as leaders. It really does. Like, And it's not because, it's just how it makes people feel. Well, crap, I ordered mine in June and I ordered something, the 1st of July and mine isn't here yet. What do you mean yours is here? And then you just have all this stuff to answer and it's so exciting. I totally get that. But until every single person's order comes 5 days from the day you order it, like, just find someone who can be appreciative of you saying that, scream it from the rooftops. But every time it goes into like one of my team chats, it causes somehow it quickly causes negativity and me to have to keep it going the other direction. And I don't know if everyone's willing to do that, but if you can find it in your heart to not spread that like super fast in chats, even though it's exciting and people want to hear the good news, the bad news, unfortunately, wants to just come out on top of that there's things that aren't delivered. And we all know that. We all know there's issues. But anyway, that's all.
Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing. Appreciate it. Hey guys, so it looks like, not gonna say the exact time, but I would say probably we're about 45 days, 60 days away from being able to launch the UK news. I think Australia is going to be about 90 days, but I think the UK will open within 60 days. Canada will be completely legal there in 60 days. So really start to try to get creative and start, joining groups in those countries, right? Because we're about to go there, so start making relationships now, go through Facebook. And if you have to do UK groups, whatever it may be, Canada groups, really start making those relationships now. That way, by the time we open, hey, you can order from the site right now, So I would highly suggest, getting real creative with that. Also, with the Hemplavate, I think we're probably about 30 days or so before launching the product or so. So I know Marcy Cavanaugh had made a Hemplavate page. Guys, the more people that we get into this page, although they haven't tried the product or anything like that, guess what? The minute the product launches, they're going to see the people that are in this group already talking about it. The more people that we have in these groups, the more customers we're going to have. It's just a fact, right? So if you want to create your own, do whatever you want to do. But I think it's time to start, creating a lot of curiosity on Facebook. Hey, who has heard about CBD? And start prepping, your audience right now. That way, whenever we launch with the product, we all have a bunch of customers. So with that being said, let me see. Kim McLean, you out there? Sean McLean? I've seen him on the screen. Okay.
I'm here.
So,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's going on?
Hey, how are you guys?
Oh, we're good. We were talking about spouses and stuff, but Kim McLean and Sean McLean, that's the perfect couple, guys. If y'all ain't noticed that yet. They work really hard. They own their own business, and they work the business together. Yeah, Kim, do you have any nuggets to share with us tonight?
I just want to piggyback on what Jen said. I take a lot of nuggets from Jen and Carol. They're both super wise. But I agree with the when you're facing challenges and things like that, the biggest thing is, to not own people's opinions of you, because especially when we're going through challenges like this, you're probably going to have, no matter how hard you try, you're probably going to have people that are going to put blame on you that, it's not yours to take. And so, just not owning their opinions of you when you know that you're doing everything that you can do. I love the fact that she's talking about, having product that comes super quick and putting it in the chats. We don't do that because we personally haven't gotten product from June the 5th. So if I see that, then, I'm certainly not going to say it, but I may think to myself, oh my gosh, I hadn't got my product and it's been over a month. So yeah, we don't put anything like that in the chats just yet. But if somebody hasn't gotten product in, 3 or 4 weeks, then when they get it, we certainly want to celebrate the fact that they have their product and they're not going to go crazy without it, because it's, as Chris said, it's crack coffee, and people do crazy things when they don't have it. So, but yeah, I just, I think the biggest thing is just staying positive, encouraging one another, and, just moving on and knowing that, like Carol said, this is our business. If you've ever owned a business and you know what it takes to get a business started and to keep it going, then you realize that these are just hills and bumps in the road that once you get over them, I was telling a couple people today, it really just adds to your story. And nobody wants to read a boring story, and nobody wants to watch a boring movie that has no ups and downs and no challenges and victories. If the story is boring and everything goes perfect, nobody watches it. Nobody goes to the movie theater to watch a movie that doesn't have some characters in it or some situations in it that people have to overcome. So when you come into these challenges, I just encourage you to look at them and say, this is going to be a really, really great chapter in my story. I can't wait to see what the victory is going to be with this challenge, because if you don't know, the greater the challenge, the greater the victory. And so, we just try to keep our team encouraged, stay super positive, and I just, encourage everybody to take ownership of it as it's yours. It is your business. You are your business owner, and, treat your team the way that you want to be treated. Love on your team the way that you want to be loved on. I think for years I've wanted to be able to have a team that I could love on, because that's my personality, and here I'm able to do that. And so I just encourage everybody to, stay positive, treat it as your own. Know that there's going to be challenges, but the challenges make the victory sweeter. And we're going to do this thing, and it's going to be awesome. I keep telling my team it's about to get real. So everybody needs to just buckle up and get ready to ride.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Guys, it is. Everything is about to pick up in a very, very fast pace here pretty soon. We've gone through the roughest patch that we could ever go through. Everything at corporate is coming together nicely. So really start, getting together with your team, get the excitement going, which we already got the excitement going within our team. But really start engaging with people. One thing that I have noticed throughout the groups, guys, what we're lacking on a little bit, okay, because I pay attention to everything. Whenever we're onboarding our people, be sure you let them know who their upline is, all the way up to the top, guys, because we want to be able to help you guys. But if, for instance, let me see who I can pick on. Okay, say Gavin brings somebody on, right? And Gavin is sponsored by Vincent, okay? Well, if he just introduces Vincent, that's it, and he don't let that other person know that there's me, there's Chris Schweda, there's Mark and Judy Willison, there's Keith and Katie Yarbrough, that person's really not going to feel that connected, right? Because Vince may be busy, Gavin may be busy, and guess what? That person's going to get frustrated because they may not know the answer to a question that a customer may be asking, and then that's whenever people start to get discouraged. So the more people that you have to be able to connect to, don't think, hey, well, I can't talk to Ricky. He's too busy. He's always busy. How do you know? If you're not reaching out to me, how do you know that I'm busy? You don't know that. the cool thing is whenever we launch this app, you're going to be able to see who's busy and who is it. So you're going to be able to go, okay, I need a 3-way call, and all your upline is going to be able to see it, and whoever's available can go, okay, I'm available. And then it's going to message everybody else, hey, Chris Schwader got on the phone with Gavin. How cool is that? You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous.
Hey, Ricky.
Go ahead.
Ricky, can I add something
sir.
just as a tip? So it's saying my internet connection is like in and out. Hopefully y'all can hear me. But so one thing I got in the habit of doing when I bring on a new promoter, it doesn't even have to be a promoter, it could be a customer, is go ahead and put them in a group chat. Like for me, I do it with my line of sponsorship. And I don't just like send a text message and type it out. I actually like tell Chris and Ricky and Vince about that person. And then Chris and Ricky and Vince, everybody will respond back in there, and that person will feel, it's going in and out. That person will feel appreciated, and they'll feel valued, and they'll get to know their other line of sponsorship. Same with customers. Even if you have a customer that's having a great experience, like introduce them to your upline or your coach and just say, hey, so-and-so, this is my customer having a great experience. And talk about that experience. And the whole goal here is to always move people to the next step. If they're a sampler, you want them to be a customer. If they're a customer, you want them to share their story and be an entrepreneur. So just always focus on taking people to the next step by using resources that you have, whether it be a 3-way call or a 3-way connect or an opportunity Zoom or a, anything. Like just always use your resources to help take people to the next step. And that's exactly what those new people will do too. So hopefully that helped.
Thank you, Gavin. Robin Grisby, you out there?
Hey there, Ricky. I'm here.
Hey, how you been?
I'm doing good. I'm doing awesome.
You have any nuggets to share with all of your wisdom, Miss Grisby?
I do. You know what? I appreciate listening to all of you. I absolutely love what Kim just said. You know, nobody wants to read a boring story. I mean, the light went off. I'm like, that is awesome. I've got to share that now. I can't wait to post that. And then Carol had tons of wisdom, and Jennifer, like, feel ya. I mean, all of us who have the partners, like, totally feel ya, and it is tough. But we, my husband is right here. So, obviously the more challenges we face, the bigger the pay, so it's part of the process. And it can get challenging, yes. And I totally agree, when you're up, go down. When you're down, go up. Teach that to the team. But, this is summer, and what I love about this is not typically the season that we grow. So in a way, it's kind of like perfect timing for the challenges to happen, because a lot of people are away wanting a vacation anyway, want to take time off, enjoying this, the summertime. And so we're really, thank goodness this is happening at a time where our business tends to slow down anyway, by 20%, and so when you figure everybody in your whole team by 20%, that adds up. So I think we're ramping up, for our season. And I don't know, I love where we're at. I absolutely love that we had the webinar last night. I had shared that, this is something I think we should do weekly. I felt that, when we all went to convention, we were able to download the energy from Robert, and we were able to download the energy of what the company was doing and where they were going. And in a way, all of us that were able to go to convention, I feel we were grounded. We were able to ground ourselves and understand, okay, it's been rocky, but we see what we're connected to. We see where we're going. And some of the people that weren't able to make it didn't transfer over to them. And as we know, when we come back, we can only transfer so much of that energy. And so I think that, just Robert doing that webinar last night, I know what we do in our team. We have something called Happy Coffee Talk. We actually connect every single morning from Monday to Friday at 7:15 with our team. And what I learned this morning is so many people felt so much better. And I seen it in the threads. I seen people posting positive things. They're excited. They even want to buy shares. So I think that that's something we definitely need to, talk to Robert about implementing for sure. Absolutely. We need to stay connected, hear his voice, hear his vision. I 100% believe in him. I 100%, no matter the challenges, believe in his heart. I know he's all in. And the fact of knowing that he's all in, like if this don't work, who knows where he'd be, right? Because he's all in. And the people that are being attracted to this are all in. So I think it's just about disciplining the disappointments, learning to be a little patient through the process, knowing that it's happening at the best time possible, which is summer, and staying super connected to the team, loving on the team, allowing them to express their feelings, hearing them, even just calling them up and listening to, their challenges, like them being able to vent. My phone's losing its battery, but them to be able to vent makes all the difference in the world. And just staying super connected. Like if we all just stay super connected, we're going to get through this, and we're going to be thinking our future selves. Like we're going to be so thankful in the future. So that's what I just want to share. And I just want to thank all of you guys for hopping on and investing your time on these Zooms as well. And thank you, Chris. And thank you, Ricky, for all that you invest in the team. We appreciate you. And together to the top.
Thank you, Robin. And little do you know that I'm going to come visit you here pretty soon with the families. And so is Chris. We were talking about it today. We're going to pop a tent in your backyard.
Hey, I have a lot of property here, so you're more than welcome.
We'll be hosting an event in California pretty soon where you're at.
So we'll talk
about that after a while. Absolutely. So I'll call you after the Zoom. Thank you, Robin, for sharing. You're amazing. Hey, guys, anybody out there, you don't have to be a leader. If you're new, if you have any questions, concerns, I want to open it up to anybody that may want to share anything, because this is your call. This ain't my call. And I want to get to know you if you're new or if you have anything to say.
Hey, Ricky, John Canada.
You're not new. I need a new person. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, John. I'm playing. Go ahead. What you got, buddy?
I just got spanked in front of everybody. One of the things that, on like ellepreneur.com, that site that we put up as, the business duplication model, I know different people are doing different things, and we need to go back through that with the introduction of the new sample packs, because everything's going to change a little bit. But, there's a page on there called Getting Started, which is very valuable for a new person to go through a checklist on how to get started. But there's this other aspect to the whole conversation called getting a new promoter started. And getting a new promoter started is different than a new promoter getting started, because there's things that we're accountable to do. I give everybody, 100% of the people on my team, a list of the upline. I text it to them. And these are the people on the team. And you're welcome to call them. I'll call them with you and introduce you to them. And they want the phone call, like they want to talk to you, and I sent a text last night. I signed in somebody. I mean, everybody's awesome. And then every once in a while you get somebody who's really, really excited, and they're professional and they're trained and they're just really excited. And, you're going to let I'll let the upline know specifically that we brought a pre-trained leader into the team. I don't know how to say it, but I want to make the brand new people make that mean anything. But, to let the upline know. And then also one of the other things that I do is I have a text that I create and I send to them. And all that text is that they need to do is forward it. Like if somebody has questions about the coffee or something like that, it's got the 3-minute video in it, and it's got the 5-minute video in it. But I put their phone number and their website. I go ahead and put it in there. They don't have to do anything. I just send it to them, and I was like, look, if somebody doesn't have a chance to get on the phone, they have some questions, just forward this text to them. It's got your name, your phone number, your website, and it's got 2 little short videos. And that, that works really, really good too. So and then also hooking people up to the groups in Facebook, because they're not going to know to go enter Rise, or they're not going to, the different groups that we have throughout the upline. They're not going to know to do that, to go through and have a checklist of whatever those groups are and plug them in and let them know, I'm going to put you in several groups to get you connected. And it's all about the flow of energy, the love. It's kind of like, I was talking to a new promoter last night, like a garden, and you have a vining plant like watermelons or like vining, right? If you cut that vine that goes to the watermelon, the fruit, it will rot, right? So we gotta connect those, because when I bringing in a new promoter or even a new customer is not where it ends. That's where it actually begins. And it breaks my heart, like when you're talking to somebody and then you hear all the stuff that they don't know, right? And you got to go back in and fill in those details to make sure that they win. Anyway, that's all.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I did want to cover this, guys, too, because I see this, and this happens sometimes. For instance, say Chris Schweda sponsored me into the business, right? He may be a blue type personality. We all know I'm a red and blue. Say we're not getting along. What would you do there? I mean, would you just quit, or would you reach up to the other person above Chris, because I see it all the time too. And it happens, throughout business. Look, we're independent distributors. We choose who we get to work with, guys. Okay. So if you can't get along with the people that sponsored you into the business, reach out to the next person or the next person, right? Because you don't have to work with that person, but why would you go quit the business because you're mad, right? So I just want to throw that out there, because it does happen sometimes. So if that ever happens, that's why it's so important to know who your upline is and to let your people know who their upline is, because we're all human beings. We all have bad days. And sometimes you'll be better talking to a blue if you're a blue. You'll be better talking to a red if you're a red. So hopefully that all makes sense. Hey, Chris, you done surfing yet, Chris Schweda? Man, he said, I'm going to go surfing. So,
hey, Ricky, can I add something?
I am here, but it's dark and I can't press the mute button.
No, that's okay. Hey, I'm going to let Jennifer share, Chris, and then close out the call if you don't mind. Thank you, brother.
All right, brother. All right.
Hey, John, I love that you added that little bit about lack of education, because I totally find that anyone here that's frustrated, is ready to quit, or is upset really about anything, it's always lack of education, connection. They got frustrated at the beginning of something that happened. They just have been disconnected, and offering to fill in the pieces, can be extremely helpful. But when Gavin was talking about connecting people, I just wanted to share what's happening on our team, and what we have noticed has been extremely helpful, adding exactly to what Gavin said. By having people who are potential customers already in a conversation, when they go back and ask a question, or, when they decide to sign up, you might be at work, someone else can help them, get signed up as a customer. But what we notice happens is they come back to the relationship that they've already established, ask questions. And it might be, I just started and I have this question. I notice they keep coming back to this initial group of people. So then they're a customer asking questions of this group that has now become a comfortable place to ask questions. And then they say, after a month or however long it is, then we notice they start asking questions like, what does it mean to share? What if I want to share this with some friends? And now they're still in that comfortable group of people asking. And by the time they upgrade to an Ellepreneur, they're already family to us. We've already been talking to them for a few months. And we notice the natural progression that happens is so much more comfortable. I just can't express enough how much those 3, 4, 5, 6-way chats are to just keep continued. I think many of us are probably in a million of them, but those are the things that have built, you know, our businesses substantially. And it is very, very cut and dry clear. When you look in my organization, the teams that are doing that and the teams that are not, just the connection and how deep the teams are growing and how fully connected everybody stays has made an increasingly huge impact on those teams. Chris can't unmute himself. I can't unmute you either. So anyway, that's all I had to add.
I am here. Can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So guys, you know what has been absolutely amazing is just sitting back and, you know, having all the leaders a lot of times, and if it's okay to be real with everybody, I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see me in this dark, but at any rate, to be real with everybody, it was so amazing to have all these leaders share, because a lot of times, you know, Ricky and I are talking about before the calls, like, what are we going to share? What are we going to, you know, what value are we going to bring to the team? And, you know, to have tonight, just have all these leaders just pour their hearts out and share with you guys all this good stuff was, I mean, to me, this was like one of the best calls. And the reason why is because I love sharing with you guys, but I don't want you guys to hear just me over and over and over and over again when we have all of this talent. It's amazing, the talent that we have. And, you know, a lot of times Ricky and I feel like we have to, you know, run the call. But the thing is that, guys, we share this over and over and over, that this is your call, that this is about you guys. And if you have value to share, like all the value that was shared tonight, like, we want to hear from you all. We want our teams outside of you to hear the value that you're bringing. And I'm just so impressed with the leadership that we have in this group. And I was inspired to just sit back and listen to everything tonight. And I just want to tell you all that I appreciate you all and that you guys are freaking the bomb, diggity bomb bomb. I know it sounds crazy, but it boils down to I just really love the people that we've partnered with. So with that being said, guys, you all are awesome. I'm going to post this video a little bit, not video, Zoom. I'm going to post this a little bit later on YouTube. And I will share it with you all shortly. So thank you all, and see y'all next Monday night.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Great job,
Thanks,
everybody.
Everybody.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you.